Should you pay now in full or should you pay with payments? Let's have this chat. With the use of my good friend ChatGPT, I created some charts to show whether or not it makes sense for the disciplined, financially literate individual to pay in full for a big expense or to pay with payments. Okay, let's look at the two different examples. Let's just say I'm looking at buying a sofa, okay, and the sofa costs $3,000. I could pay $3,000 for that sofa, or my other option might be to spread out payments over 5 years, and I'm paying interest on that, right? So what comes out ahead? If I part with the money today, that means I can't use that money to do other things, number one. And number two, I'm paying today's value of those dollars to buy that sofa. All right, let's fast forward to the other side now. Let's just say I decided I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to make small payments over the next number of years, and I'm going to contribute that month. Inflation is a key component to this entire thing making sense. We're going to use an example of 4% inflation. Let's say 4% inflation. I know it's probably on the high side. It's been on the high and on the low side the last year. Let's just use 4%. If inflation is going to increase prices, it's actually reducing the value of each dollar. That's what's really happening. It's reducing the purchasing power of that $1, right? The point is 3, 4, 5 years from now, my dollar will be easier for me to earn because it's worth less in exchange. So if I could spread out payments over a longer period and they're equal payments, the same number that I'm paying on my first payment is the same number that I'm paying on the last payment, you can see then that it actually is cheaper for me in terms of actual real value of the dollar. It's cheaper for me to make that last payment than it is for me to make the first payment. All right, what does this look like? You can see here's the two different sets of payments on a bar graph. One shows what I'm able to do when I pay cash, and one is overpayments. This line graph shows you a bit different. It shows you, again, the cash outlay up front, but look at the difference here in when I'm talking about I could hang on to my money for a lot longer and part with it slowly but surely over time. I could do things with the money in the meanwhile that is going to generate income. It's going to generate revenue for me when I'm not using that money to pay cash. The clear winner in this case is make payments. Make payments. The problem with all of this is we lack the discipline in general. We cannot be trusted to spend wisely. What's going to end up happening for the majority of the case, I'm not singling you out, but for the majority of people, we're going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, I still have so much more money in a bank account. I can go and spend on something else. So all we do is take on more consumer debt, more spending. And that's not the solution. You pay cash so you can avoid causing yourself pain later on because of discipline. That's the key, discipline. If you have that, you can turn this scenario into a money maker for you, not a money loser.